Hey guys, I'm Jen. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to show you guys how I make a Mediterranean style chicken Alfredo. If y'all are anything like me, I'm a busy mom. I've got kids, got a house to take care of, and we've always got things going on. So this is a really quick and easy dinner. It's very healthy and it's really, really delicious. So this is one of our weekly favorites. Everybody, including the kids, eats this, and I can't believe I even get them to eat cooked spinach in something. For the sake of keeping this video really short, I have already prepared all of the ingredients ahead of time just so I can show you the preparation. So I'm going to give you a quick rundown of the ingredients. First off, I've taken boneless, skinless chicken breast and I've cut it into chunks. They vary in size. I'm also going to have garlic, artichoke, mushrooms, onions, broccoli, spinach. I'm going to be using this Better Than Bouillon chicken, roasted chicken base. I prefer to use this over the bouillon cubes because it doesn't have some of the harmful chemicals like MSG. I'm also going to be using cream cheese, tricolor noodles, which you can use any kind of noodles you want. I just really like these. And then as for seasonings, I'm going to be using salt, thyme leaves, garlic, and pepper. Alright guys, let me show you how to get this started. First off, we're going to start by getting this cast iron pan really hot. Now I've got it good and seasoned, so I'm not going to add any oil or anything to this because I kind of want the chicken to stick a little bit so that I can make a roux with all those good things at the bottom. Y'all, now that I got my pan nice and hot, I'm going to go ahead and just dump this chicken in that I cut up ahead of time. And then I'm going to rinse this bowl out because I'm going to want to reuse it here in a few minutes. Alright, as it's cooking, I'm just going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. I can't tell you how much I add, guys, because I just measure with my heart. So whatever you think is best for you, that's how much you add. You can always add more later. It just gives a little bit of flavor to the meat as it's cooking. Meanwhile, I've already started my pot of water for my noodles. It seems to take our stove quite a while to boil water. So I went ahead and started this before I started the chicken. That way, hopefully my noodles and my sauce will be done around the same time. Alright guys, I'm going to turn this off and we'll be back when the chicken is about done. Alright, now that the chicken's done, guys, I'm going to take it out of the pan. I washed this bowl and I'm going to put it back in here so I can cook the vegetables and make the sauce, and then I'll add the chicken back later. Normally I would use olive oil or avocado oil, but I'm out, so butter isn't as good for you as those healthy oils, but it sure does taste good, so we're going to go ahead and use butter this time. I'm just going to use a couple tablespoons of butter. I'm going to melt it down and then I'm going to use it to try to scrape some of this stuff off the bottom. Alright guys, now that I've got the butter melted, like I said, I normally use a healthy oil for this, but I'm out, so we're just going to use what we have. I'm going to go ahead and add in a bunch of the vegetables. And now you can cook the vegetables as much or as little as you like. You just cook it however you like it. But I'm going to add the broccoli, the onions, and the artichokes, and the mushrooms. And I'm going to save the garlic until last because garlic, the flavor burns out really fast, so you want to add it within the last 30 seconds or so of sauteing. I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for a couple of minutes. I'll be back with you guys when it's time for the next step. Now that my vegetables are about the consistency I want them, actually they're a little undercooked because they're going to cook a little bit more. So I don't want to cook them till they're done right now, but I'm going to go ahead and add in some of this chicken base and get it stirred in. Like I said, guys, I don't measure anything. I measure with my heart, so you're just going to have to experience it with your own taste buds and figure out what's best for you. However, I will put a recipe in the description below to kind of give you a guideline of how to make this. But feel free to adjust it however you see fit for your family. Alright, now that I got the chicken base mixed in, I'm going to mix in about 1/4 cup of flour. I'm going to do this because I want to make a lot of sauce and this flour will help it thicken. So you definitely want to add the flour at this point, because if you try to mix the flour with the water, it's not going to work out so well for you. It's going to end up really lumpy. So I used, some sort of oil. I used butter, and that really binds the flour and makes it work out great for a sauce. So I've made it, you can kind of see how thick it is. It's kind of all sticking together right now, which is just how I want it. You want to mix it, stir it up just enough so that you can't see any of the flour. Now that I've got that, I'm going to go ahead and add some water. And you're going to see this get thick really quick. And actually, I forgot to add the garlic, so I'm going to go ahead and do that next. I usually like to saute the garlic a little bit, but it works out fine doing it this way too. Now, I expect this to thicken as it cooks, but I'm going to go ahead and add the chicken back to it so the flavors can start mixing together. While I'm waiting on this to thicken a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and put my noodles in the boiling water. Once I put the noodles in the pot, I like to just give them a gentle stir to make sure that they don't stick together. I'm going to put the lid back on that so it boils faster. But as you can see, this is already getting a lot thicker. I might add more water to it after a little while. But as of now, I'm going to take my cream cheese and I'm going to put it in this bowl over here. You want to make sure you have a microwave safe bowl for this because I am going to put it in the microwave. For a normal size batch for a couple or a small family, I would only use 1 box of cream cheese. But since we feed a lot of people here, I'm doubling the batch of this recipe, so I'm going to use 2 boxes of cream cheese. Now, the brand of cream cheese doesn't really matter. Today I'm using Philadelphia cream cheese, but that's because when I went to the grocery store earlier, that's all they had. So I kind of got stuck with it, but I really don't see much of a difference between Philadelphia cream cheese that costs like $4 for an 8-ounce package compared to the bargain brand that I normally buy that's $1.50. So feel free to use whichever kind you prefer. Make sure to stir this frequently because it will stick to the bottom of the pan. Now, to help the cream cheese melt a little bit better, I'm going to add a small amount of milk. I don't want to add too much because then it will water the soup down, but I'm going to adjust it in the bowl to where it's kind of flat like this sitting in the milk. It'll just help it melt, and then when it's done I can mix it up and make it nice and creamy. Now, some people will just take their block of cream cheese and put it straight in the sauce, but my experience with that is I can never get it quite smooth. It always ends up kind of lumpy with lumps of cream cheese. So I really like to put it in the microwave with a little bit of milk and mix it up and get it really nice and smooth before I mix it in. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit more water. While I wait on that, I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of my mess, put away the things that I don't need. So I forgot to mention how versatile this recipe is, guys. I make my sauce the same way when I make beef stroganoff. However, you can choose whatever vegetables you put in it. So we like to eat a lot of vegetables, so I put a lot of different kinds of vegetables in it, but you can omit any of these vegetables and it'd probably still turn out the same. I'd say the most essential 2 are onions and garlic because you get a lot of your flavor from that. So as you can see, this is really soft. I'm just going to stir it until it's smooth. The milk kind of dilutes it and makes it a little bit easier to work with. Alright, now that I've got it nice and smooth, I'm just going to pour it right in. Now I'm just going to stir the cream cheese in, and then I'm going to taste it, and I'm going to season it to taste. Guys, I wish you could smell this because it smells so good. I'm just trying to get it all combined really well. I think that's about the perfect consistency for this sauce too. All right. Here's a moment of truth. That is excellent. I am going to add a little bit of thyme to it. I'm going to add a tiny bit more garlic powder and a little bit more pepper. Remember, when you're cooking, you can always add more, but you can't necessarily take it away. So when you're using your seasonings, because I measure with my heart, I tend to add a little bit at a time and then taste test it and add a little bit more if it needs it. Because it really stinks when you ruin a recipe because you added too much salt and you can't take the salt away. That's perfect. Alright, now that I'm done with everything, time for the final ingredient. Now you can use fresh or frozen spinach, but just remember that frozen spinach often has water in it, so it might dilute your sauce a little bit, so I prefer to use fresh. I'm just going to put the rest of this bag in here. As a mom who wants my kids to eat relatively healthy, I'm always trying to sneak vegetables in wherever I can. Alright, now I'm going to turn it off. The only thing I have left to do is drain the noodles and stir it all together, and then we're done. Alright guys, final step. I'm just transferring this over into the pot with the noodles, and I'm going to stir it all together. If you guys like seeing recipes like this, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any of my delicious cooking videos. Also, if you want to see more videos like this, please check out the playlist up here or the video over here. Thank you guys. Have a blessed day.